Am I audible to everyone? Just type yes if I'm audible as so just type yes if I'm audible to everyone. Wonderful, wonderful. Extremely apology for the inconvenience caused. There has been some glitches with the technical link and it was not supporting my Mac. So yes, I hope people are joining. Komal, welcome everyone. So we'll start our session right away. So welcome everyone. Welcome geniuses. I'm so excited for our first session. This is live now, and sorry for the delay. Number one, you are officially part of LinkedIn Learning Group, and I know we have had group from past couple of days, and we are here today officially. They we begin our first LinkedIn Mastery class. And if you're watching this on a replay, or some of you could have joined, a massive thank you to all of you watching on this replay and the live session. A huge well done and congratulations, taking this a leap of a faith for taking the step forward, making a priority about your development for your own growth, for recognizing your potential. This is a common. This is community, a LinkedIn community, LinkedIn family. So we are going to grow together. So let me introduce about myself. As everybody know, I'm from LinkedIn, and I've been into this industry from 8 years, and I've been preaching about employer branding, how important it is to have a good employer branding and the recruitment marketing strategies. So today we are going to talk more about LinkedIn strategies, employer branding. What is difference between the employer branding? What is difference between the recruitment strategy? What are the steps we need to take to have a good employer branding? What are the matrices if we go with a good brand? So these steps, and by the end of the session, we'll be talking more about the takeaway will be, the list of the tools which I've created across my year, and I've so these are the best tools where you can improve your employer branding and the recruitment strategies. So to start with, I hope everybody is able to hear me. So we will be starting with why it is important to understand the relationship between the employer branding and recruitment marketing. So I hope everybody is from the HR background, and we will be talking so that if in case you have any doubt in your mind about these words, the terminologies, feel free to note down your questions. We'll have a couple of Q&A session where you can put up these questions and you can ask me. Okay, so there is a distinct difference between the employer branding and the recruitment marketing. So as an HR professional, it is essential to understand the difference between these two terms and how effectively we can utilize them to, make our best reputation on the market and attract top best talent. So this goes hand in hand. It's not just one single trail. It goes hand in hand. So employer branding and recruitment marketing are two major buzzwords. If I talk about the understanding how to attract talent in the modern recruitment. So the problem is that many HR and recruitment professional, so they often mix up these two terms, and they think they are one and the similar thing. However, there is a huge difference about employer branding and recruitment marketing. So as an understanding, being as an HR professional or into recruitment professional, or into maybe marketing professional, it is essential that you understand the difference. So it is good to have a clear understanding of both these terms, and you can effectively utilize them together to attract top candidates. So now I'll go ahead with what is employer branding. So what do you understand by employer branding? So employer branding is also sometimes known as the employment branding, the term used to process creating and maintaining your company's brand, your reputation across social media. The goal of employer branding is to present your company's desirable employer in order to attract high talent quality candidates. Okay. So employer branding should be based on your company values, mission, and vision. It's not just sharing any random things on the social channel will help you to increase your employer brand. No, it should be related to your employee value proposition. So whenever an HR person who talks about who's from the employer branding background or from the recruitment background, they should always have four questions related to employer branding. So first is, which position do you need to fill, whether it is now or maybe in future, coming future. Who is your ideal candidate? What kind of a audience do you have? What kind of a audience you are targeting? Whether you are targeting in Bangalore, Noida, Gurgaon, Delhi, that's question you have to have in your mind before you start the employer branding process. So what makes you an exceptional employer? Okay, why you are different from your competitors, why they should join you, what is the best in you? So you have to have such question. And what would your ideal candidate want to work for you? So what benefits you are giving to them? So in short, if I talk about, there are five blocks where employee value proposition comes in the picture. So in employee value proposition, you have to talk about your compensation. Okay, what benefits you are giving in terms of compensation, what benefits you are giving in terms of your time, holiday, flexibility, insurance, what benefits you are giving in terms of their career growth, ability to change or progress in a sustainable manner, work environment, recognition, autonomy, personal achievements, and the last one is culture. So these are the five takeaways, keys of employer value proposition. So before you plan any employee branding strategy, so you have to be related to these five models of employee value proposition, so that you are sticking to your company's mission, vision, and culture. So a strong employer brand communicate about your company is a good employer. Okay, so the statement is always very clear that we are a good employer and it is a great place to work. It will help you to stand out, providing a compelling reason for joining your company. So this message has to be very clearly told in front of social media to all these candidates. So if I talk about what is the importance of employer branding, so there is an ample evidence that that a great employer branding strategy make it easier to recruit people. Okay, so recruiting has been changed from last 10 years. Okay, earlier it was just a run, cold calling, emailing recruitment. Now it has been people choosing, candidate choosing their employer of their choice. Okay, so that is why you have to stand out and be different from other competitors. So employer branding help you out in doing that. So employer branding is necessary for attracting top talent and getting you the best candidate to apply for the open position. So if I talk about LinkedIn survey, 75% of candidates research about your company reputation before they apply for the job. Or even if they have applied, during the interview process, they go through your review process, LinkedIn reputation, Glassdoor reputation, and other sources where they can get reviews about the company before they make a decision to join you. So, and if even if they don't want to join, they'll still share the feedback with others. So 69% of candidates who won't apply even if they are unemployed. If we have a bad reputation on the market, if we don't have a good review, if we don't have a good reputation or presentation on social media. So that is why it is important to have a good employer brand. So employer branding and improves not only your time, cost, but the quality of hire also. So the importance of employer branding is further demonstrated, into smaller steps. The first is time to hire. It improves your time to hire. It improves your cost to hire, and it lasts quality of hire. So when once these things are improved together, okay, your company's reputation, your company's goal is achieved very quickly. So according to, if I talk about LinkedIn survey, which I've taken directly from the LinkedIn, the companies with a strong employer brand see 50% more qualified applicants. So that takes them from 1 to 2x faster hire and reduce cost percent by 50. So this is how it works if you have a good employer brand. Okay, so now I'll talk about what is recruitment marketing. Okay, how it is different from the employer branding. So in terms, as if I go with the terminology in recruitment marketing, used to explain the application of marketing methods and tactics to showcase your employer brand. Okay, so now you have designed your employer brand. Okay, now you have to present it in front of the passive candidates, active candidates, in front of the media. Okay, so those methods, marketing methods, are called recruitment marketing. Those tactics are called recruitment marketing. So in other words, recruitment marketing is just the process of promoting your employer brand on a different channels such as social media, company's career page, a job board, company career blog, current employees intranet, internal channels. If you talk about job description, talent networking, or if you're doing any kind of an event in campuses, these things are promoting, and the processes under the recruitment marketing strategy. So the main goal of every recruitment marketing strategy is to deliver the right message in front of the right candidate. So at the right time, if somebody is looking for a job change in machine learning, and if you share your job description, if you share right message to the right candidate, he might be very much interested to join your company, looking at the reputation of the company. So that is called recruitment marketing. So we call this approach as inbound recruiting. Okay, so recruitment marketing, doing a recruitment marketing, attracting people to apply for your job, is also known as inbound recruitment. So because it's instead of chasing the right candidate, when a new position opens up, inbound recruiting continuously drive interest in your company and build a pool of high quality candidates. So if in case most of the recruitment team, they know that they have to hire back to back Java developers, Android developers, or machine learning people. So in that case, you have to keep building up your pool. Okay, so you have to attract people, telling that what kind of a project you have, what kind of an opportunity you have for them in your career. So if in case you have any doubt, okay, so feel free to write down in the comment box, and let me know if once we have a Q&A session, we'll be able to answer that. So recruitment marketing, if I'm focusing on recruitment marketing again, so this is a pre-application stage of hiring processes. So if there are lots of processes and steps in the hiring, okay, so this is a pre-application process. So its goal is to attract talent, drive best candidate to apply for your open position. So focusing on the candidates is bigger than ever before. So if we often talk about delivering the best candidate experience, which is possible now these days, giving them the understanding about what kind of a open position you have, what kind of a company's culture you have, and how you are different from your competitors. Okay, so this process is once cleared, okay, talent would be more attractive, talent would be more happy to understand the recruitment process, and he would have a competitive advantage to make his decision more quicker before he join your company. So in order to differentiate their company from their competitors and attract top talents, clever recruiters have started using these marketing methods and the recruitment marketing tactics. So that means posting your job openings to the job boards and waiting for the talent to come to you is simply not enough anymore these days. In such a fast-paced market, everybody is running to hire a best talent. But how you going to attract that talent, and how the candidate is going to show interest joining you once you have prepared a very well versed content for your employer branding and using a right recruitment marketing strategies to display in front of those candidates. So if you want to win the war for the talent, and if you have to think long term and be proactive in driving awareness, building relationship with the potential candidates. Okay, so if if you have done this thing before, okay, so have you ever tried answering such questions before applying in any recruitment strategies or any recruitment marketing strategies to have or completed your goal, that what kind of a content, okay, do my ideal candidate like? Okay, what they wanted to see. Are they ready to apply now, or I need to do more to trigger them interested for my opportunities? Okay, so what second third question maybe, what social media platform they are spending time on, whether it is Facebook, whether it is Twitter. Your target audience is more available on LinkedIn, or maybe Instagram. So you have to have these questions in your mind so that you can prepare your content and strategies accordingly. And what kind of a project they are working on, what would attract them, what is the description of their dream job. So when you focus on these type of questions, okay, that will help you to understand your audience, and you'll be able to better design your content to present in front of them and make them feel that yes, this is a company what I'm looking for. And sometimes it's not just the recruitment company has to, a recruitment team has to do, it's the entire organization who has to collaborate together, giving them understanding about current employees, current career success stories. Okay, whether it is about your employees or C levels or CXO or your leaders, everybody has to participate in this, and it has to be more visualized these days. So everybody is now, coming up with lots of different ideas that yes, it is a video or visual, content. So nowadays people are getting more attracted not just with the written content, it has to be some visualized content. So all these questions that are very successful recruitment marketeers know that answer to. So if you are just starting into this recruitment marketing or employer branding, so try to answer these questions. I have prepared a list of 10 to 14 questions where you can answer before you start or make any strategies for recruitment. So I can share that list by the end of this session. So now, coming to understanding and making all together. So employer branding, as I said, is the process of defining your company's employer brand, whereas recruitment marketing is promoting your company's employer brand. Okay, so employer branding is basically the candidate's persona. Okay, understanding your defining your candidate's persona and defining your employer brand. How do you define your employee value proposition, your company's culture, mission, and values? Where recruitment marketing is used to write a clear and engaging job description, turn your job description into an attractive job posting, advertising your job openings, creating your optimized career site. Okay, and if it is where people generally look for the information about the company is your career site, so that has to be more optimized and in a clear content manner. Creating an interesting and engaging recruitment content using the inbound recruitment process which I have explained earlier. Prompt your recruiting content on your career site, link all the social channels together to your career sites. If the candidate is interested in looking for some content on Facebook or any other social media, they can directly jump from your career site to those social channels. Define and execute your social recruitment strategy. Tell them that what is the recruitment process. Okay, how many interviews are there? Share the success stories of the interviews, how it happened, whether they got selected or not. So you can build these stories and can publish on these social channels to improve your the traffic towards getting talent attracted towards your company. And you can launch your internal email campaigns, improve candidate experience, encourage candidate engagement. So these are the few steps that can be involved to improve your recruitment marketing strategies. So this was all about employer branding and recruitment marketing strategies. So if in case you have any doubt about these things, so you can shoot up your questions. I can answer one by one. So we can have 2 minutes of Q&A session on these things. So over to you. Any questions if you have, or if you want me to proceed further, I can. I think everyone is clear now. So no worries. If in case in by the end of the session you have any questions in your mind, feel free to ask me, or you can write it down to me. So now to 5 HR matrix, improved by the strong employer brand. And if an organization have a strong employer brand, okay, what and how it can improve the HR processes of an organization. So the first very best thing what can be improved if we have a good strong employer brand is better talent attraction. So having a strong employer brand means that if the candidate comes to an interview and he perhaps already had heard about our company, okay, and the image is positive, and once the person is more eager to apply and accept the offer, okay, that is what called where you have a better talent attraction. So almost 90 to 92% would people would be accepting the offer if they have heard about the company and if they are happy about the employer branding of an organization. So that saves your cost. Okay. Second is increasing the quality of hire. Okay. The most recognized employer branding is the more positive image in the market it has among the candidates, and more talented people are going to attract. Okay. So if I talk about, if you look into the data and extract the data from LinkedIn or Glassdoor of your company page, you'll be able to understand that brand leads 50% more qualified candidates. So right people are applying for the right job, so that will save your time. You don't have to screen number of people to close that position with number of candidates. So you can close the position with just a couple of interviews because right people are applying for the right position. So that is why it increases your quality of hire. And third is improving your employer retention. And when come people who are serious about the employer branding and they have really understood the employee value proposition of your organization, they'll have a good understanding about work culture, workplace. So it would be easy for them, for an organization to retain such people because they'll have a good productivity. Okay, they will be happy to work in this organization for a longer period of a time. Fourth is boosted employee engagement. So a part of employer branding is also a sense of meaning and a purpose. So creating the right branding and the culture of happy engaged employees will boost your innovation and productivity. So most of the people who are part of this engagement and employee branding processes, they'll be engaged properly, and people would be happy working in your organization because what they heard about your company, what they have seen, what they have read is almost true when they find and join your company. And fifth and the last is get people talking about your brand. So it is not all about that only recruitment team or the HR team have to talk about your company's strategies or culture. So happy employees will talk about your brand in a positive way. So every employee who's happy about this process, this value, this mission, they will talk about you. So they are also more eager to recommend your brand as a great workplace. Okay. And they'll recommend your friend, they'll recommend their friends to join your organization. So this is how the referral process increases, and you are able to close your positions quickly with the trustworthy candidates. Now it comes, if I talk about what is talent brand. So there are lots of myth going about employer branding, recruitment marketing, and talent brand. So people understand that it is almost similar. Employer branding and talent branding is almost similar, and it is another just a jargon in the industry. No, but if I talk about the term employer brand has been around for a while, but social media has radically changed the game. So now these days everything is on social media. Okay, people want to apply for a position through social media. They want to have a review, feedback, interview feedback, everything on social media or through any APIs. So your employer brand, okay, was in messaging you post to the marketplace and periodically has rephrased it. Now it has changed. The market has changed. Today the message is digested and amplified or questioned aloud in real time. People are looking experiences with your company. through social media. They want to understand what do you do, how do you, how your internal employees are talking about your companies, what they do talk, what kind of a projects they are working, what kind of a culture you have. So this is what a talent, your internal employee talk about. Okay, so your employee brand, your talent brand is highly social, so it is all about your own employees talking about your company on social media, total public version. So this is a total public version of your employer brand. So that incorporates with the talent things, what talent things feel, share about the companies where they are working currently. So today's best corporate career site features employee sharing when it is look like to work there. So again, as I said, it is coming back again to a corporate career side. So that is the first thing which we have to improve, because someone who look for the company, they go and search for the career page, they search for the content mentioned in that career page. So if I talk about some stats about this talent brand, global talent brand trends are 91% of company increased at least or maintain their talent brand by investing on their career page, and 83% of talent acquisition leaders across industry says that employer brand and the talent brand significantly had impacted their ability to hire a great talent in lesser period of time. So these are the trends which have been taken from over period of a time, that talent branding and employer branding is affecting the way of hiring these days. So now it's not just about hiring a candidate, it is all about making that candidate stick to your organization for a longer period of time. Okay, making them happy and making them feel that this is the right place, this is a great place to work, and they can recommend their friends, they can recommend their families into this organization. So don't be daunted. I know it is too much of uh, HR and marketing, terminologies. So, but we all are here to help you out. Okay, if you have so many questions in your mind, I'm a small company, I'm from a small company, I don't have a talent brand, I don't have a very defined recruitment marketing strategy. How should I start from? If my company is not that special, they are just a tier two company, and how should I progress further to build a brand so that I can attract right talent, and where do I start from? So these all questions can come up in your mind. Sorry. So these questions can come up in your mind. When I started, I had so many questions in my mind. So, but the 7 day, sorry, 7 day session will help you to understand how employer branding, recruitment, marketing strategies, and recruitment tactics can help you to, stand out from your competitors. Sorry. So, employer branding, if I now I'll be talking about employer branding essentials, steps to build, strong employer brand in your organization. So there are, 4 to 5 steps involved in building a successful employer brand. So the first step is setting up the stage for the success. That includes startup at the top. So it's not just about, your HR team. Your recruitment has to stand talking about recruitment marketing or employer branding. It is your CEO, your leaders who talk about your talent brand, who talk about, giving the commitment in promoting your, employer brand strategies. So that is the very first step, that you need to collaborate with different brands. You have to collaborate with different departments and encourage your leaders to participate in promoting your employer brand and talent brand strategies and campaigns, whatever you are going to start. Second is arm yourself with data. So if I talk about, that's a universal fact, emphasizing the, business impact of the strong talent brand. So if you are using LinkedIn Talent Solution, or if you are using Glassdoor business account, you can extract data. You can understand what your current employees are talking about, You can understand what your former employees are talking about, and what your candidates who have been interviewed are talking about. You can see how, from which location you are getting, from which competitors they are applying from. So you can have these data, understand, and then design your recruitment strategy. So this is completely available if you are handling recruitment talent solution or LinkedIn recruiter account. So you can pull out these details, understand what your company, what traffic your company is getting, what kind of audience you are getting, whether you are, whatever content you are publishing, whether you are getting enough audience, or you are getting the right audience for that open position or job description you have posted. So you, that will help you to understand your recruitment matrices, and can if there is any improvement required, you can prepare accordingly and can do the A/B testing and make the improvements. Second thing in this is very important, that bringing partner to the table. It's not any recruiter or HR cannot do it all alone. So you have to bring your HR partners, your marketing team, your communication team, and of course the IT team also. And you don't have to know everything about your website analytics, or creating design or marketing segmentation. When your team member know about it, utilize their knowledge, collaborate with them, and build a strong aura of employer brand, and then publish that content to attract the best talent. So you have to collaborate. So that is very important, collaborating with your team member, leveraging their expertise, okay, through a cross-functional talent brand task force. So that is more important. Second important thing to build a strong brand is you have to listen and learn. So what do I mean by listen and learn? So listen and learn means we have to start listening what our employees are talking about, what our candidates are talking about. Okay, so we have to start asking questions about it, gather facts, opinions, their stories, and building blocks of our brand. Okay, so if I talk about putting aside our biases, that these are juniors, these are seniors, okay, this department does not participate, let's leave that biases aside. We have to talk to each and every employee. We have to hear from them what they think about the organization, what they seek to understand about culture of the organization. So once you listen to them, okay, you are able to understand what kind of a content you have to prepare to engage them, and what kind of a content you have to prepare to attract using that stories. So before you talk to your talent, walk into their shoes to experience your employer brand. They do. Okay, so audit your existing material, whatever material or recruitment process you have, step by step. Okay, so there are recruitment from the day one you post the job till the candidate has joined. There are different processes. So you understand step by step processes, review them. If there is any outdated process and a team is overwhelmed about that process, try to eradicate, bring something new. And if your ATS is not working properly, think about your ATS. So reviewing all your material will help you to understand whether you are able to convey your message to the right candidate or not, whether your recruitment team is able to brand your company or not on social media or events. So understanding these things is very important. So second thing would be covering your bases. Start with the traditional print and digital assets, your official presence, your infrastructure on social media. If you are having any day-to-day activities or Friday fun, try to take a story around, publish it, and tell that this is how our organization is running in a day-to-day work life. So if I talk, I have prepared a list that you can check out how to audit your talent brand materials. So there are two one is official and another is unofficial sectors where you can actually do a audit for your talent brand. The first is If I talk about your career page is linked to your social media pages. If you are launching any live events materials, is that up to date? Company career page on LinkedIn, whether it is up to date or not. Your official presence on the channel, what is the participate, how many followers you have. So you can audit and can improve by understanding what is lacking behind, where is the gap, where people I have 11,000 of followers, but I'm not able to get a single profile from Facebook. Okay, after being having 11,000, so you have to understand whether you are able to get or publish the right content in front of the right audience or not. So that is important. Now if I talk about other channel, unofficial channels, that could be like employee exit interview, whenever an employee leaves an organization, understanding their reason for leaving, how they felt while working in this organization, what tenure they were in, okay, once in the organization, everything. So those data can be related to help you to build your strong employer and talent brand. Then helping your own employees to participate on LinkedIn profile sections. Okay, encouraging them to engage on LinkedIn, content creation or participation. Whenever you are publishing any content, asking your employees to participate, sharing their thoughts, sharing your own content to their network. That is important. So that comes under unofficial process, and that is depending upon employee to employee. And of course, you can take care of activities on social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, or if you're using Instagram for sourcing, if you're using Pinterest for sourcing, you can use these channels to attract and see whether you are able to target your right audience from these channels or not. So after auditing, what you should do. Okay, so you have to plan your research. Once you understood that where is the gap, once you understood, okay, I have to improve in this is my strong point, I'm getting a good profiles from LinkedIn, and but I'm not getting a good profile from GitHub or Stack Overflow. How should I do? So you have to plan your research. So with an idea of what's out there today, you're ready to conduct research among your core audiences. You have to talk to your own employees, where they spend most of the time, these techie people, where they participate in tech forums. So you try to collect data from these own employees, and then you can publish or interact on these channels to get the right talent in for your organization. So research comes in all shapes and size, but regardless to your budget, there are four questions that you need to answer before you plan any research for your talent brand. So the first is, who are you targeting? Okay, who is your basic target audience? What information will you collect from that channel, and when will you engage your target? And the last is, where and how will you engage that target audience? So these four questions you have to answer before you start your planning for your research and do research work, whether it is within organization or outside organization. So once these questions have an answer, okay, you'll be able to plan your research well, and able to attract right audience, right target for your content, for your job opening or job posting, anything. So now if I talk about in detail, how these four steps in detail, that who are you going to target? Okay, so first is, what you have to target your own internal employee. Okay, they know your brand very well. They are the easiest one to reach, first of all. Okay, you can't be everything to everyone. So think about subgroups, most of important people who participate a lot. Okay, or you can launch a survey to talk about, understand what is their story, what they think about the organization. So there are lots of stories you can develop around tenure or maybe seniority level, performances, like every quarter you have reviews and awards. So you can develop lots of stories and get them to understand what they think about the company. And you can publish those stories, you can publish those reviews on social media also, to attract, to develop a good content. And that would be all visual, because that would be either video or in terms of visuals. Okay, differentiate and attract your internal employee. And that can be on basis of many things, as I said before. It can be in terms of tenure or seniority, by performance, or by functions, or maybe by if you have branches across India, it can be geography, locations, anything. But if you want to target the external audience, okay, then the very first segment you need to attract is your formal, your former employees, okay, candidates, or candidates who have declined your offer, the reason why they have declined your offer. So I try to gain information, try to gain the data, prepare a survey, share with them, ask them the feedback, how was their interview, feedback, understand that what made them to reject our offer. Okay, passive candidates in the target function, or maybe region, or industries. When you are going for a campus placement, you can take a feedback from college students. When you are talking to any of your clients, or consultants, or any recruitment agency, you can do a feedback from them also. So these are different external audiences which you can talk to and get a feedback, or understand that what they are looking for, so that you have a better understanding that what kind of a audience I have to target. Okay, second question is, what information will you collect from them? So get to know the good thing or bad or ugly, anything. Okay, so you want to know what attracts the target talent to your organization, what keeps them there, okay, what can improve your weakness of your talent brand. So what is happening when you ask your marketing team, okay, to get web analytics of your career page, people are viewing your career page but they are not applying. How many people, what is the ratio? Okay, what is lacking, that they are not applying for the job? Even the job description is updated, the message is very clear that you have a joining bonus and everything, but still they are not applying, means something is lacking. Okay, people are not going to the second or third page of the jobs. So you have to understand that what information you are collecting from these people. And there again, there are several survey questions you can add to get informations, like what are the most values you look for before you join. So you can launch a gamification survey on your social channels, like a Facebook event, or any senior or hiring manager of your company, talking about what is the interview processes look like, what kind of a questions, or general tactics are there to clear the interview in this organization. Okay, or where does your company do good of delivering the values. So there are lots of questions you can launch and publish on social media to understand what your audience want to have before they apply for the job. So I prepared a list of these questionnaires also, I can share it with you, and you can apply into your current role and see whether it works for your organization or not. So looking for the opportunity to ask the same question to the both internal and external talent is very important. So that will allow you to understand any perception gaps across those audience. So because we are targeting people which will fit for our organization, okay, so we have to show the right message to the right audience. And what our audience is looking, that is important. Then only we'll be able to publish the right content for them. Third point was, when will you engage them? So there is no hard and fast rule. You can start engaging them from the day one you start your research. Okay, so employer brand can have continuous process, okay, about understanding and monitoring. As soon as you talk to your marketing team, getting an analytics, you can start approaching those candidates, you can start improving your Facebook. And second, the last important point was, where and how will you engage targets? So focus groups, okay, and when somebody comes on interview, and surveys are the most common research techniques to get the data. Hire a consultant if you cannot afford it, okay. Make a small team within, Okay, starting from the candidate receive the job description till the candidate is selected. So there are different processes. You can track everything, whether the candidate is interested in joining you or not. Okay, what is his view? Start, keep sharing your first day of your organization. So any good content that a candidate can be attracted to, you can share and build a group and share to your prospective candidates who have been interviewed recently. So these are the things which you have to improve while building up a strong employer brand. Second, the next important point to build again, strong employer brand is craft your approach. Okay, so means you have to, what approaches or what process you are applying, that is important. So considering what people you want to think about your organization, is it feasible based on the reality? Okay, or how does your communication team